Morning, guys. Good Sunday morning here. Welcome to church, if you will. We are here at the farm. Just got back from a great May trip. Started it actually the last couple days of April. 22 days later, we are here back at the farm in Kentucky and jumping right into it. Feet first, jumping right into it. This morning back here, getting a chore list done. We have a bunch of stuff to do. So the plan of attack this week is work on the farm until dark and work in the lodge until all hours of the night, right? So a lot going on, trying to get a lot done in a short amount of time, if you will. But that's what keeps us young. So turned 41 yesterday. So time is ticking, as the old saying is. Every minute I've got's borrowed, right? So no looking back, no time to hesitate and wish that we would have throughout life, right? And that's the older I get, the more that's probably feels and sounds more prevalent in my life about getting things done and not having that, man, I wish I would have approach in life. It sure helped me out, and maybe that'll help you. You know, moving forward in some situations that you're in or facing. The wish I would have's are the ones that get you, sneak up on you, and this farm is one of those, a testament to that. Good farm cat. Everybody needs a farm cat or a farm dog. So I wish I'd had a dog again, but I'm gone too long. So the old cat there, he kind of holds his own at the farm here when I'm gone. Today, guys, what we're doing is we are the first thing of the chore list here, if you will. Jumping right into this, we're finishing up some of the we're going to start the planting of our summer release. But before we do that, before I left in April there, I actually put down my fertilizer and my pelletized lime. I guess I should not my lime. The corn was planted. The neighbor of mine got my corn in the ground for me. We've got 4 acres going in, and we've got 4 acres of corn going in, and so that's in, looking real well. At some point here throughout the week, I'll post a video on the progress of that. Here in Kentucky, the Johnson grass is just crazy down here, so they're kind of battling that, trying to keep that at bay on that emerging corn. Today what we're going to do, guys, is as you can see behind me, we've got the sprayer loaded, and we are using the Plot Start for the first time. Plot Start as the Deer Grow product in general. We're going to use the Boost later. I'll show you some things that I didn't really post and go into great detail last year because I tried it and I believe it helped. I just didn't have this proof of the soil samples and stuff like that to really bring that stuff out to you. And what I'm referring to, guys, is I actually made my own liquid fertilizer, more fertilizer than lime last year. It worked real well. It looked good where I placed it in the plots. But like I said, without, having proof of what that actually did to the soil condition, yada, 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 I wasn't going to bring that to you guys and say, hey, do this on your plots. But this year, after looking into the Deer Grow, product, mine was hard to spray. It clogged up the sprayer, and because I had trace mineral that I put in the barrel, and I'll show you some pictures here, guys, of videos as we go, so it makes sense. I used all kinds of product, fish oil, everything, let it ferment, and then strained it, but it clogged up my sprayer, and to be honest with you, it was kind of not a nightmare, but it was close to work, if you will. I have 5 acres, so I'm spraying the entire 5 acres with the Plot Start, and then like I said, they make the product, the Plot Boost, that I'm going to use as well. So a couple things here going into this that I've learned already, and then I'm going to update the progress of this as we go. So the gentleman that's doing the corn, a good friend of mine here, the neighbor, he has sprayer and stuff, and what he did is he came down, and the Plot Start was here. And I told him, I put the pelletized lime on it, but the way I had it figured with the tonnage that we needed, why don't you go ahead and put, 4 jugs of it on that 4 acres. So 1 jug, so 1 2.5 gallon jug, guys, per acre, if you're needing lime on your plots. So I had him put that out there, and he said it's hard to spray. It clogged up his sprayer so bad that he's not really wanting to use it anymore in his sprayer, to be honest with you. So we looked at I don't know if that is actually a mixture issue or what we got going on there. So I'm going to mix it per what they say to mix it, which is put a third of water in your tank. So I've got a 45-gallon sprayer, but I run it at 40 gallons. So I'm going to put a third of that in water. I'm going to pour the solution in, which is one jug. So 1 2.5 gallon jug per acre. So there's 10 gallons of that going in the sprayer. And then I'm going to top that off with the rest of the water. I'm going to run that solution in here and see if it was a mixture issue or if it really does clog up your sprayer. And then I'll have some input on that as far as, you know, the look of the plot and stuff, guys. So the reason for this is I think a lot of my clients can kind of relate to this. If you have any yellowing or if you have purple in your plots, guys, this is the reason for putting this on the plots. Any yellowing and purple in the plots, guys, is it's starving. It's kind of like trying to, for us as humans, wanting to eat fresh lettuce and biting into something that's been on a buffet for days, right? It's not appealing. It doesn't taste good. It probably, to be honest with you, isn't healthy for your system. And that's the same thing with those yellowing plants. So last year, because of the time that I had and with our plot program, we didn't have the availability to really go and get the fertilizer and lime that I could have because of equipment, timing, and everything else, right? So I noticed some of that yellowing and the purpling of my brassicas and my wheat and rye. So that's what we're doing this year, is I'm curing that. Pulled my soil samples, and my pH was a little low, which I knew. I mean, keep in mind, guys, we say rock down here, but it's not your field stone rock like a lot of the, folks tuning into this from the Midwest. We've got shale, the old house that was here, that we took down before we built the new lodge was built on a cut rock foundation, they called it, which is shale, right? Which is big pieces of rock. And that's kind of what I've got out on the farm. You'll see in some of the video as we go around sometime when that's rolling, when that's rolling, it is shale. It's big jags of rock, you know what I mean? So kind of a different system down here. And if I can do this on this ground, guys, this whole point of this whole farm is to prove or bust myths or say what works, show you what works, what doesn't. And then the plots look amazing right now. We got water coming. We got the rye and the wheat. Man, I'm kind of glad in a way that the plots weren't or were what they were last year, so I could pound the rye and the wheat to them. And reason for that, guys, is I've got a excellent stand crop right now that you'll see when we start putting the summer release down. So they're already fertilized, they're already limed. This is the second year, so I'm doing about 50% of what. So the first year, lime fertilized to 100% of your soil sample requirements. Second year, after crimping and starting the summer release process, bump it down to 50%. By the third year, guys, the goal is not to have to use, especially with the cost of lime and fertilizer right now, not have to use it. The plot start isn't cheap. It's easier, so we're not burning the diesel. That's expensive right now. So all in all, I think my plots are very close. But the biomass that I've got to crimp down on them this year, guys, is way, way better than what I had last year with the old hay field, right? So really looking forward to this. So we're going to dump this in 1 gallon per acre, and then my sprayer sprays 10 gallons per acre. So what I'm going to do is put a third in, dump 4 of these, one of these each for as much as the sprayer holds. That's not all the spraying I have to do, but I'm going to put 1 in for every acre. And then we're coming back and we're going to, mix the other one up and put some more out here. So we're going to start with that, as they recommend, I guess you could say. And we're going to go from there and see how this works. And we'll be back in touch with you. So a little update here, guys. As soon as we started this morning, did kind of an introduction to what we were doing here on the farm. We are starting the, putting out the plot start. And I think I'm going to take a little bit different path already. It's one of those, it's a learning curve, right? Everything you do. I've got, the plots look amazing with my biomass, right? My rye and my wheat. Right now, that dough stage is perfect. I mean, we're hitting this just right for planting the summer release into it. But what I'm finding is I'm going around putting in my my plot start, spraying it, and the boom is so low that I don't think my coverage is getting above, because this is tall. And I mean, keep in mind, guys, sorry about the hand here, but I mean, keep in mind, I'm 6'6", and this is that soil builder that we planted last fall, as far as the wheat and rye for this. And I mean, this is what I've got now, so I think what's happening is it's so I've got so much of it that the boom, my spray rate per gallon, I think is okay, but it's not getting out, and it's kind of sticking. So my coverage rate, I guess I should say, I don't believe is what it is. And I'm worried about, I'm knocking so much of my biomass down, and it's yes, it's just rolling it over the tire, so it's not crimping it, so it'll probably stand back up. But when I'm putting my summer release into it, I want that seed to go down through, right, into the soil, and then I want to crimp over it. So what I'm going to do is, I've got half of the plots done right now with the spray. So I think we're going to test this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to seed, I'm going to crimp, and then I'm going to put the plot start on top of that biomass. That way I know my coverage is good, and we got rain coming, and let the rain work it down in. It says, post-emergent or pre-emergent, in other words, before the plants emerge, to put the plot start, or before when you got fresh dirt, if you're a till guy. So I think that's what I'm going to try, believe it or not. I think I'm going to do just that. I think I'm going to yeah, I think I'm gonna put it all down and plant into it, roll it or crimp it all down, and then we're gonna spray it right on top of it, but get better coverage and let the rain soak it in. I just feel like the biomass, and I guess I didn't calculate for that. I was kind of shocked at the height. I mean, I've got a picture of the Ranger going through it, and it's above the doors. So with chemical and plot start and everything else that's so expensive, I want to make sure that we're getting our coverage. So this is the back plot there, guys, and I've made that decision. So we're gonna go get prepped up for seeding here, and we're gonna roll. We're gonna seed and roll some. We'll do some crimping. We'll bring you an update, but just one of those things you kind of learn as we go, right?